Hello everyone and welcome to the U.S. Department of Energy SolarDecathlon 2022 Design Challenge. This webinar is on competing in the semifinals. My name is Rachel Romero and I'm your competition manager, and I'm here today with Amanda Kirkaby, your assistant competition manager. We are very excited to be here with you today, and we're going to talk through the competition timeline again so you understand where you are. We're going to talk through the semifinal competition event and what we're going to be doing with that, and then the submission that it coincides with that. We'll give some tips and some next steps, and we'll look forward to that submission. So on the timeline, here's a look at where we are today. You've maybe submitted your project summary and are working hard on your project design. Our next submission is on February 22nd, which is your project summary and your project presentation. Those will be submitted by that deadline, and we'll go a little bit into more detail here shortly. We will have a team check-in before that submission deadline, and to give you all the information you'll need before that. Then we will have our semifinal competition event, which we'll go into more detail shortly. I hope the teams are continuing to work towards your final submission. You can more than work in advance of just the project summary and the presentation. So you can work towards your design narrative and your multimedia project pitch. We will have 2 more check-ins prior to that to assist with those deliverables and submissions. We'll have 1 more check-in, and then your final presentation is due before the SolarDecathlon competition event. Let's go into the semifinal competition event. This is a virtual event to select our finalists. Each team will have the opportunity to present to a small panel of jurors for finalist selection. Teams will also receive some initial feedback on their design projects, which should be really valuable to your team and help your project as you advance. You will have an opportunity to connect with your peers and industry leaders as well at this event. So this event will have your division presentation, very short. We'll have an all-team social, which I'll talk about, and a career connections event. So on Friday, February 25th, we will take a look at the schedule. From 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have semifinal division presentations, and we'll do about half the teams in that time. At the conclusion of the day, we will have a career connections event, and I'm very excited to be welcoming in some of our sponsors and industry partners to participate in that with us. On Saturday, February 26th, we will have additional semifinal division presentations from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. We will have a 1-hour all-team social and then finalist announcements. Each team will get an opportunity on a first-come, first-served basis to select a presentation slot on either Friday, February 25th, or Saturday, February 26th. All right. So we are going to be using the Whova Platform for the semifinals event. You can download it as an app or on your desktop as a desktop app. And through Whova, you'll be able to access the meeting links for presentation as well as the networking events, and do some preliminary virtual networking if you're interested as well. So at the semifinal event, we are very excited to offer both a career connections event and an all-team social. These will take place on Remo, which is a virtual networking platform. In the Career Connections event, you can actually bring your resume and have an opportunity to connect with industry experts. If you check out our sponsors, most of them will be there to talk with you. Many of our sponsors have great job opportunities that are very aligned with the SolarDecathlon, and you'll be able to learn about other careers and meet some great industry professionals. Additionally, during our all team social, both the design and build challenge teams will be present, and we'll be able to discuss strategies with other teams and just do some general networking with people from around the world and with the other teams. With that, I'll pass over to Amanda.
Thanks, Rachel. So now that we know what the semifinal competition event is going to look like, we're going to take a deep dive into what the semifinal submission is. So this is your first required deliverable, and it contains 4 components: an updated project summary, an 8-minute presentation, building science education completion or equivalent, and your final division selection. This is really to inform the selection of finalist teams, and it provides a concise description of the project and target market, describes relevance to competition goals, highlights key project data, summarizes design goals and strategy, and outlines a plan for finishing design. We really encourage you to read the rules for all the deliverable requirements, and we're going to go through how this submission informs this finalist selection process. So first of all, the teams will submit their finalists or semifinal submission deliverables via the project site. Teams will then present at the virtual semifinal competition to a jury panels of industry experts for their division. The division jurors will evaluate these presentations to determine up to 10 finalist teams per division, who will then compete at the final competition event in April. And all teams who complete the final deliverables may be invited to the final competition event in April. So I encourage you to all work towards that final deliverable and design project submission. What will your teams be evaluated on in this semifinal submission? So the evaluation criteria, jurors are going to be looking for a variety of things. And first and foremost, the effectiveness of the project summary. So does this stand alone as a document and really capture all important parts of your project and emphasize important design goals and other key project data? Do you discuss design goals? Do you discuss your target market, building occupant characteristics, as well as the resulting impacts on the design constraints? I really want to emphasize that jurors will be looking not only for these descriptions of your local climate, target market, building code standards, and building science, but also how this affects your design decisions, how this informs your team's decisions moving forward. Also included in this criteria is a quality of your team's plan for submitting the final deliverable. So jurors want to see that you'll be able to finish your design project by April and have a full complete design project for the final competition event. And of course, compliance with the rules. Again, read the rules for deliverable requirements, and all criteria are also included there. So some best practices to help you prepare. So really this semifinal presentation is to highlight what is unique about your project. So outline a realistic timeline for finishing your design for the final submission, and practice, practice, practice. The presentation is short, it's 8 minutes, there's no Q&A. So really make sure that your team is ready to show up prepared to sell your project. Guiding question that can be helpful in designing your presentation and practicing is, how would you pitch your project to a client? How would you sell your project and keep aspects to a client? A few resources to help you prepare. We have on the project site deliverable templates and example submissions, and really these templates are meant to guide you in what you should be focusing on in these deliverables and provide a draft. And then we also provide those examples to show what the final product could look like. Again, these templates are optional to use. They're for reference, and your team is more than welcome to go above and beyond and create your own templates or designs for these deliverable submissions, as long as they follow those formatting requirements outlined in the rules. A few other resources I want to highlight are past competition examples. And so really, especially in the semifinal submission, it's helpful to know where your team is headed and where you want your final design to be. So looking at these past project submissions who were successful in the past can really help guide that semifinal submission deliverable. And so I include links to those past project submissions on the project site, as well as design narratives, and encourage you to look through those, see what past teams have done and who have been successful in the past. I also want to emphasize, so from our project summary deliverable that was due in November, a few common feedback items we want to emphasize for all teams is really to justify why the goals are picked. How do goals address specific needs for your target market and your site? Connect each contest to the target market and the site. Who are you designing for, and why are you making those decisions for that specific location and for your target market or design partner? Also include a balance of text and images. A good balance of this can help highlight key project data and strategies and make it easy to read and easy to find that project data to help jurors and the organizers evaluate project submissions side by side. And read the rules both before and after drafting deliverables. Once you get into the drafting, I know it's easy to get kind of down rabbit holes and start going along those paths, but really bringing it back to the rules after you've drafted your deliverables to make sure you're meeting all those submission requirements and evaluation criteria will really help you be successful in the long run. And really emphasize what makes design strategies unique to this project. Be specific, don't leave anything up to interpretation for the jurors. Really outline and justify all your design decisions thoroughly. So in conclusion, a few important dates to keep in mind. The semifinal submission is due February 22nd at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the project site. And no late submissions will be accepted, so please be sure to submit early. And our next team check-in will be February 8th on 2022 at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we look forward to connecting with you all again there. And we look forward to seeing who will be the finalists at that semifinal competition event. We're excited to see all your presentations, the progress on your designs, and we wish you good luck. With that, I'll pass it back to Rachel for a few final comments.
Thanks, Amanda. That's great. We look forward to seeing who are the semifinalists, and we'll make a big announcement about that, or the finalists, excuse me. All teams do get to advance, and we're really excited about that, but our finalists will go on to compete for our winning in each of our divisions, as well as our grand winner awards. So we hope that you'll share your progress as you complete your project using the hashtag SolarDecathlon Design. We are on all of the social media platforms, so I hope you'll take a minute to look through those. We'd like to thank our sponsors who make the design challenge and everything going into the final competition possible. Our sponsors really support the SolarDecathlon program as a whole, and we're very grateful for their work across the board. And they are looking forward to meeting you as well at the semifinals event. So with that, we'd be happy to take your questions at sddesign@nrel.gov at any time, or we'll look forward to seeing you at the next design challenge check-in. Thank you.